Now, prestige car makers are playing a game of automotive limbo at the moment, literally finding out how low they can go. Today you can buy a Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Audi for under 40 grand. And Maserati has just joined the game too, with this, the Ghibli, its new entry-level four-door sedan. Well, clearly this isn't a $40,000 Maserati, but it is the first time the Italians have played against the likes of the 5 Series and Mercedes-Benz E-Class in this mid-size segment. Now, it actually looks quite familiar, and that's because it's actually a shortened quattroporte underneath. There's 173mm less in the wheelbase, but it has a unique style with all the body panels exclusive to this car. At the moment, the Ghibli has arrived in Australia with 3 models, all powered by turbocharged V6 engines. Starting with the most efficient diesel that produces 202 kilowatts and 600 newton meters, consumes just 5.9 litres per 100, and is priced from $138,990 plus on-road costs. For an extra $1,000, buyers can opt for a Ferrari-built 3-litre twin-turbo V6 petrol with 243 kilowatts and 500 newton meters. Or step up to the Ghibli S, which extracts more from the same engine, lifting power to 301 kilowatts and torque to 550 newton meters. But it only drops a tenth of a second from its 0 to 100 kilometer time at 5.5 seconds. It costs $169,990 and brings a host of other features over the standard models. But all in all, the Ghibli is placed well ahead of its direct competitors on price. This trio, however, are only the starting points for Maserati, and there will be other variants added in coming years, including a high-performance rival for AMG and BMW's M. And this one certainly has that sporting character that Maserati is synonymous for. The 3-litre twin-turbo V6 isn't necessarily a firecracker up against things like the AMG or BMW M cars, but it's a sweet little engine with a fat mid-range of torque and really good power delivery. It's also, like all Maseratis, got a great soundtrack, which is something that not all V6s can achieve. What sets it apart from the German rivals is it has a definitive sporting character that is synonymous with Maserati. Unlike the German rivals, Maserati hasn't chased fuel economy at every level, instead keeping a little bit of that sportiness in the steering with the hydraulic setup, and it's actually quite precise through the twisty stuff. So there's really good grip from both ends of the car, and it's quite fun to drive. The trade-off for that sporting character is the Maserati Ghibli is quite stiff in its ride comfort. It bounces over pockmarked roads and is really only at its best on smooth highway stuff. And while the cabin doesn't quite have that handcrafted exclusivity of the quattroporte and flagship Maseratis above it, it certainly has a luxurious feel about it and matches the Germans in terms of the materials it's used and the quality of its finish. Now, Maserati's relationship with Chrysler has also brought it access to more modern features inside, including a large 8-inch touchscreen with sat-nav, Bluetooth and all the functions that you need. However, it should have a bit more of an exclusive interface to it, and it sort of looks like a bit of a parts bin product. Now, from the driver's point of view, it's pretty comfy. There's a great driving position, good vision all round, and comfy seats with lots of adjustability to it. In the back though, it's par for the course for this mid-size class. It's not huge, doesn't have a limousine-like feel like the quattroporte, but it's certainly adequate for family use. Although it is more modern inside than previous Maseratis, the Italian brand can't match the Germans on safety equipment, with the Ghibli lacking some of the potentially life-saving systems such as radar cruise control, lane keeping and collision warnings, and automated braking that are becoming more standard amongst those cars. Now, all the Ghiblis in Australia come equipped with an 8-speed automatic gearbox that is used across a lot of the German brands, so quite familiar. And it is one of the best in the business, with smooth shifts around town and really tapping into the torque of that V6 engine. It's also a pretty good gearbox when you want to have fun with the car. Simply press Sport, which opens up the exhaust to have a bit more of a fruity note, and then tap the paddles and the thing goes pretty good, doesn't it? So, what's the final verdict on the Ghibli? Well, it's got all the style and charm you expect from the Italians. What's more important though is that it opens up this Trident badge to a lot more owners. It might be a little bit more expensive, but it's the cheapest Maserati has been in a long time.